Chapter 35, Preliminary Exchange. Thump. A low muffled sound was heard as both fists collided. The resulting impact caused all the dust on the surrounding ground to be completely blown away. The outcome that the crowd had expected did not materialize. Rather, Lin Dong's body stood firmly planted on the ground like a giant boulder after he received Lei Li's tempered body 9th layer blow. Dang! Sound of stepping. Both of them took a few steps back after the collision. Lei Li fell back by 2 steps, while Lin Dong fell by 3 steps. Overall, Lei Li's attack did not have the expected impact that the crowd had imagined. He actually managed to take that blow. As they stared at Lin Dong, who ended up evenly matching with Lei Li, a look of shock surfaced on every younger generation member. After all, Lei Li had a legendary reputation in the Qingyang town, and many people had speculated that within half a year's time, he would break through tempered body 9th layer and advance to earthly Yuan level. At that time, the strength of the Lei family will soar again. Among the younger generation in Qingyang town, Lei Li was universally recognized as number 1. However, today, this so-called number 1 was actually stopped by a younger member from the Lin family. This surprising development caused many people's eyes to pop out of their sockets. Xie Yingying and Xie Ting's facial expressions changed as a look of anxiety surfaced in the former's eyes. It looks like this newcomer Lin Dong was truly capable. In a blink of an eye, Xie Yingying calmed down. Even though Lin Dong had unexpectedly endured Lei Li's attack, it did not mean that he had the qualifications to go toe-to-toe with Lei Li yet. After all, Lei Li was at tempered body 9th layer. Hence, compared to Lin Dong, who was only at tempered body 8th layer, he was still much stronger. Furthermore, in their previous exchange, Lin Dong had used martial arts while Lei Li did not. Therefore, if they were to continue and fighting seriously, Lin Dong's loss was a foregone conclusion. Penetrating fist 9th echo? Not bad. As Lei Li stepped back, he looked at Lin Dong with a somewhat astonished look. Soon after, he smiled as he shook his head. No wonder you could act so haughty. Turns out you do have some ability. However, you might not be so lucky the next time. After he spoke, on Lei Li's claw-like hands, a thick glow surfaced as the Yuan power undulated. It seems like he was finally going to use martial arts to confront his opponent. Upon witnessing this sight, the joy that Lin Xia and the rest felt instantly turned into dread. Based on his expression, it seems like Lei Li had finally turned serious. Lin Dong's expression was calm. He knew that there was a vast gulf between tempered body 8th layer and 9th layer. Even if he had utilized the 10th echo of penetrating fist, he could barely match up to Lei Li. Furthermore, the latter had obviously trained in martial arts, and thanks to the Lei family's solid background, he was probably quite well versed in it. Therefore, if they fought seriously, Lei Li would probably have a better shot at victory. Nonetheless, Lin Dong was confident that even if Lei Li won, it would be a Pyrrhic victory. Phew! Lin Dong deeply exhaled as he stretched all 10 of his fingers. He was anxious to find out just how powerful his Wonder Gate Seal technique would be together with his full strength. Even though it was only the first chapter of Wonder Gate Seal, which had been abandoned by Lin Xiao and Lin Zhentian, Lin Dong knew that the might of this martial art had become stronger after it was perfected by the stone talisman Glowing Shadow. More onlookers gathered around as they witnessed the rising tension in the surrounding atmosphere. They were very interested to discover whether the upcoming talent that had emerged from the Lin family could match up to the legendary young genius Lei Li. With his palms bent back, Lei Li's glare towards Lin Dong turned increasingly vicious. The Lei family was considered as the most well-established faction in the Qingyang town, and they often despised other factions like the Lin family that suddenly invaded and came into power. Therefore, he knew that if he did not utterly defeat Lin Dong, he would become a laughingstock. Hee, this place is really crowded. Just as the Yuan power in Lei Li's body started to swirl, a contemptuous laughter sounded out. Moments later 10 figures leaped off a nearby building and directly walked towards the crowd. These 10 figures were all youngsters aged around 16 or 17. They all wore the same clothes and a picture of a wildly dancing large saber was sewn on their chest area. Raging Blade Dojo. Lin Dong was slightly stunned when he saw these people. He recognized them based on the picture on their shirts. They were from the Raging Blade Dojo, the third major faction that stood on the same level as the Xie and Lei family. Leading the pack of suave youngsters was a lean young man. That young man had extraordinarily large palms and was riddled with scars that were evidently caused by frequent practice with blades. He first glared at Lei Li before he raised his thumb and smiled at Lin Dong. "You must be Lin Dong from Lin family? Your courage and insight are indeed pretty good. Wu Yu, this is between me and him. Don't meddle in other people's business." Lei Li shouted at the smiling young man with a dark expression on his face. "If I don't step in, won't you guys act like the whole Qingyang town belongs to you?" Wu Yun rolled his eyes as he derisively answered. Looking at him, it was evident that he had some bad blood with Lei Li and the rest. "Heh, Lei Li. Since you are itching for a battle, how about I join in?" As he smiled, Wu Yun replied as he stared somewhat passionately at Lei Li and licked his lips. Upon hearing these words, Lei Li's expression darkened further. He knew that he could defeat Wu Yun. However, the people from Raging Blade Dojo were rogues and they loved fighting. Once they start fighting, they will fight until the very end like a lunatic. Therefore, under normal circumstances, Lei Li wished to avoid a fight with the latter. "Wu Yun, big brother Lei Li does not wish to fight with you. Going around to stir up trouble, is that the style of your Raging Blade Dojo?" Xie Ying asked in an indifferent manner. "I do not know if that is the style of Raging Blade Dojo, but it definitely is my style. If you have any objections, you can discuss it with me." Thought I might not accept. Facing the sarcasm in Xie Ying's words, Wu Yun seriously answered instead as he nodded his head. Xie Ying bit her red lips as her facial expression turned slightly black. Nothing seemed to be going her way today. First, she encountered a harsh straightforward talker, Lin Dong, and now she had met a hoodlum. Hence, rage filled her entire body. At Wu Yun's reply, Lin Dong involuntarily let out a smile. He seemed to have taken a liking to this smart-ass fellow. Lei Li's face twitched as his expression darkened. "All right, all you little fellows have caused enough trouble already. It's time to head home, this is a place for conducting business." Just as the atmosphere was totally disrupted by Wu Yun, a resigned voice sounded out from a nearby building. As the crowd turned to look, they saw a middle-aged man standing above and looking down at them. Behind him, stood a crowd of burly huge men. That man is in charge of the plaza. His name is Wang Jin and he is an earthly Yuan practitioner. Standing behind Lin Dong, Lin Xia softly said. At this instant, she secretly heaved a sigh of relief in her heart. Now that this man had appeared, the curtain will finally close on this drama. After Wang Jing emerged, Lei Li's eyebrows frowned as he realized that today would be a difficult occasion to make his move. As the undulating Yuan power dissipated in his palm, he turned to look at Lin Dong before coldly saying, "You got lucky today. Rest assured, when the Qingyang hunt arrives, I will make sure to take special care of you. Since I promised to retrieve the slap you gave to Ting Er, I will make sure to keep my word. Also, Wu Yun, I will definitely give you a good beating during the hunt. When that time arrives, don't cower away." As he finished, Lei Li let out a sneer and turned to leave with Xie Ying and the rest. In the following days, he knew that once he advanced to earthly Yuan level, he could easily handle both Lin Dong and Wu Yun together. As he gazed at Lei Li's back, Lin Dong slightly narrowed his eyes as a smile formed on his lips. Qingyang Town Hunt, he was now starting to look forward to it. Chapter 36, Family Gathering. As Lin Xia and the rest saw Lei Li finally depart, they secretly heaved a sigh of relief in their hearts. Although Lin Dong had displayed an astonishing strength during this period of time, even they did not favor Lin Dong's odds against the reputed genius Lei Li. Therefore, it would be best to avoid a fight. Hehe, Lin Xia, seems like a remarkable fellow has finally emerged from the Lin family. After he saw Lei Li left, Wu Yun turned and swept his gaze across Lin Dong before he finally looked at Lin Xia and smiled. Lin Xia rolled her eyes in response. Soon after, she patted Lin Dong's shoulders. With a proud expression, she said, "Of course. Given Lin Dong Biaota's speed, he can easily surpass all of you." Lin Dong shook his head in resignation as he saw how much faith Lin Xia had placed in him. Then, with a smile, he told Wu Yun, "Thank you for helping out today." He obviously realized that Wu Yun intervened in order to create chaos and prevent Lei Li from attacking him peacefully. "No need for thanks. After all, we are at loggerheads with Lei Li too. If I can make him suffer, I will gladly do it." Wu Yun smiled as he flicked his hand. He did not display any airs in front of Lin Dong. Wu Yun had observed during the short exchange with Lei Li, that the latter was in no way weaker than himself. Lin Dong smiled. It seems like Raging Blade Dojo and the Lei and Xie family did not have a good relationship. In that case, it was probably good news for the Lin family. After all, if these three major factions allied, even with Lin Xiao's return, the Lin family would definitely be overpowered. "It's getting late, I will make a move first. Haha, Lin Dong, I will see you at the hunt again. However, when that time comes, let's hope for a good fight." The two of them chatted for a while before Wu Yun smiled and waved goodbye. Then, he left with his people. "Let's return as well." As he saw the place emptying out, Lin Dong smiled and turned to tell Lin Xia and the rest. "Sure." After the dramatic conflict previously, Lin Xia and the rest did not wish to stay any longer and immediately nodded their hands. Under the crowd's watchful gaze, a stream of people exited the scene. When they returned to the Lin family, Lin Dong and Qing Tian did not immediately return to their little hilltop. After all, it was the end of the month and also time for the Lin family's gathering. During this time, every key member of the Lin family would gather together and report all the various events that had occurred in the past month. In the past, Lin Dong was not invited to this gathering. However, ever since the family competition, his status within the Lin family has skyrocketed. As such, he now had a place in this family gathering. A full moon hung in the clear night sky as the cooling moonlight poured onto the ground and enveloped the earth. The Lin family's backyard was very crowded as tens of people laughed and talked merrily around a large round table. Lin Dong was seated at the left corner, and beside him were Lin Xia, Lin Hong, and other elite younger generation members of the Lin family. At this family gathering, the only joyous occasion for Lin Dong was finally seeing Lin Xiao, who had been busily handling the affairs of the Blazing Manor. Naturally, Lin Zhentian was seated at the head of the dinner table. Right now, the old man was chatting with Lin Xiao and asking him for the latest updates regarding the Blazing Manor. After a short inquiry, he nodded his head in satisfaction before he finally turned to look cheerfully at Lin Dong. "Today, I received a piece of news. Turns out, these young fellas have clashed with the younger generation members from the Xie family. In the end, they even attracted the attention of Lei Li." Everyone's attention was immediately directed towards Lin Zhentian. Upon hearing these words, the expression on some adults darkened as they harshly stared at their own children. These kinds of events tend to happen frequently. However, each time, these little brats would return with their tails between their legs, causing their parents to be slightly frustrated. Yet when their parents tried to reason with the parents of the responsible parties, they were often unsuccessful as the other party would simply dismiss it as a childish dispute. "Father, this matter was likely caused by my daughter Lin Xia. When I return, I will teach her a lesson." Lin Ken, who was sitting to one side, growled. "Haha, no need to worry. This time, they did not embarrass our Lin family." Lin Zhentian smiled as he waved his hands. In fact, it seems like this old man was quite happy. He cheerfully continued, "Turns out that this little brat Lin Dong has even more hidden potential than his father Lin Xiao. He not only dismissed two tempered body 7th layer youngsters, but he even managed to stop Lei Li. This is a highly praiseworthy achievement." "Oh!" Upon hearing these words, the crowd were slightly shocked. Lin Xiao was even more stunned as he clearly did not expect that Lin Dong was not defeated even after clashing with Lei Li. Is that true? Lin Xiao could not help but ask. Under the watchful gaze of the crowd, Lin Dong was forced to nod his head as he replied, I used penetrating fist, whereas Lei Li did not use any martial arts. It should not be counted as a draw. However, Lei Li had long advanced to tempered body 9th layer. It is remarkable that you were able to use penetrating fist to bridge that gap. Lin Ken smiled and said. Lin Dong should have advanced to tempered body 8th layer, right? Lin Zhentian smiled from ear to ear. Lin Dong secretly sighed in his heart as he nodded his head. Good grandson. Looks like our Lin family has finally produced a genius that can match up to Lei family. Lin Zhentian involuntarily let out a hearty laugh as he saw Lin Dong nodding his head. Upon hearing this, Lin Xiao and Lin Ken also let out a chuckle while a complicated expression surfaced on Lin Mang's face. There is only 4 months left before the hunt. During this period, you must work hard. If you require anything, feel free to say. Anything that I can provide shall be yours. Lin Zhentian announced with a smile as he stroked his beard. At these words, many people in the crowd were stunned. Lin Zhentian's words had evidently displayed his intentions to treat Lin Dong as the most precious core member to nurture. Similar to Lin Xiao in the past. Envy surfaced in Lin Xiao and the rest. However, Lin Dong's recent progress and achievements were indeed something no one could replicate. Thank you, Grandpa. As he observed the expressions from the crowd, although Lin Dong did not verbally reject, in his heart, he shook his head. After all, he had the mysterious stone talisman, thus the Lin family's resources now held little appeal for him. Of course, he was not going to tell them. Furthermore, even if he did not need the resources from the Lin family, he would occasionally ask from them. After all, he did not want to arouse suspicion as he relied on the godly training speed the stone talisman provided him. Lin Zhentian waved his hands as he continued discussing other matters with the family. Eventually, this family gathering ended. As Lin Zhentian walked away, a clear and bright laughter could still be heard. Lin Dong lightly clenched his fist as he understood that the old man had placed all his hopes on this grandson. Just like how he had placed all his hopes on Lin Xiao back then. Grandpa, rest assured. I will fulfill your wish. Lin Dong muttered to himself. Soon after, he lifted his head as a slightly icy smile emerged on his face. Of course, there's still that fellow called Lin Langtian. Chapter 37, Breakthrough. In his room, Lin Dong sat on his bed as he very carefully took out a wooden box hidden in his clothes and then took out a yellow mud fruit from within. As the yellow mud fruit was exposed, a delightful fragrance was emitted that could captivate anyone nearby. Lin Dong gazed at this yellow mud fruit as he placed it into his right palm. His thoughts twitched, urging a trace of Yuan power to flow from the Yuan power seed within him into the stone talisman that was embedded within his palm. As the Yuan power gushed in, Lin Dong could see the faint mysterious symbols on the underside of the skin of his palm start to glow as traces of a bright light seeped out from the pores of his palm and shined on the yellow mud fruit. The yellow mud fruit rapidly wilted as the mysterious light shone on it. As the light faded, 2 dark yellow pills laid quietly in Lin Dong's palm. Upon witnessing this miraculous scene, awe filled Lin Dong's eyes as his fascination with the stone talisman once again deepened. It is said that some extremely powerful individuals are able to crystallize mental energy into symbols which possess all kinds of miraculous effects. Perhaps this was how the stone talisman was formed? Lin Dong grabbed onto the lukewarm pills as he contemplated. He had occasionally heard of such rumors, but these stories originated from far away and he yet to experience the outside world to confirm them. Compared to the large and majestic Great Yan dynasty, Qingyang town was simply too small. One day, I must venture into the outside world. Lin Dong smiled, deep in his heart an adventurous spirit emerged. He was confident that he would not be confined to this tiny Qingyang town. However, before that, let's start training first. The adventurous spirit within Lin Dong's heart was swiftly washed off by cold reality as he helplessly spread out his arms. Right now, he was not even the top dog in Qingyang town. How could be hoping to venture out into the exciting yet dangerous outside world? As he popped the dark yellow pill into his mouth, Lin Dong sat on his bed as he felt a stream of pure medicinal power spread throughout his body. A smile formed on his face as he concentrated on absorbing the medicinal power, allowing the Yuan power seed within his inner channels to grow. Ever since the fight with the younger generation of the Xie family, in particular, the fact that he had not lost even against Lei Lin Dong's reputation among the younger generation in the Lin family suddenly skyrocketed. In fact, his reputation now exceeded Lin Xia's and Lin Hong's. Young people tend to be rash and hot-blooded. In the past, whenever they clashed with the younger generation members from the Lei and Xie families, they always came out on the losing end, forced to run away with their tails between their legs. However, thanks to Lin Dong, the situation has now turned for the better. At the very least, whenever the younger generation members in Lin family encounter other younger generation members from Xie family, the latter no longer dared to bully them outright. Lin Dong was nonchalant even as his reputation surged. Rather, he chooses to focus most of his time on training. Even when he occasionally visited the Lin family, he would go straight to the martial arts library. Whenever other younger generation members invited him to hang out with them, he would politely decline. Hence, he did not cause much ripples in Qingyang town. 2 months swiftly passed as Lin Dong maintained this quiet lifestyle. During these 2 months' time, Lin Dong did not once neglect his training. Thanks to his diligence, he could see the Yuan power seed residing within his inner channels grow more concentrated and bigger. Sometimes, when the Yuan power seed tried to break through the Dan Tian, Lin Dong could faintly feel that the once impenetrable Dan Tian barrier had begun to waver slightly. During these 2 months of training, Lin Dong had completely used up all 10 of the yellow mud fruit pills and the 2 flaming crimson reishi pills he had. Therefore, he was forced to return to the underground bazaar and exchange the diluted stone talisman Ling liquid for another 10 stocks of grade 3 elixirs. This ensured that he had a constant supply during these 2 months. Of course, when he returned to the bazaar, Lin Dong carefully chose another underground location. After all, it was best to be cautious when handling the stone talisman Ling liquid. During these 2 months, although Lin Dong made remarkable progress, Qing Tan had completely trumped him. Perhaps it was due to her mysterious body constitution. Though Qing Tan rarely used elixirs, her training progress was almost as fast as Lin Dong, even with help from the stone talisman. Qing Tan had smoothly progressed to tempered body 7th layer. Even though she did not undergo rigorous training, her body seemed to absorb the Yuan power between heaven and earth at a much more rapid pace than normal. Lin Dong was stunned as he faced this peculiar situation. Once, when Lin Xiao returned home and learned about this matter, he too displayed the same shocked reaction. After much pondering, they were still unable to make heads or tails of the situation. In the end, they decided to attribute it to Qing Tan's unique body constitution. Even though the facts remained fuzzy, Lin Xiao and Lin Dong could faintly feel that Qing Tan's body was indeed unique. However, this was both a cause for celebration and woe. After much discussion, both of them decided that it would be best to keep this matter a secret. After all, if news got out, it may lead to some unexpected problems. Besides, after witnessing Qing Tan's rapid training progress, Lin Dong went to the martial arts library to find some martial arts that were more suited for girls. After perfecting those martial arts using the stone talisman glowing shadow, he then personally taught them to Qing Tan, to allow her to protect herself. As the Qingyang town hunt approaches, Qingyang town got increasingly crowded. Even though there were still about 2 months before the hunt, many people were already excitedly discussing about it. Everyone knew that his hunt was a guise for Qingyang town's major factions to compete with each other. During each hunt, each faction would donate prizes, and of course, these prizes tend to be very lucrative. Naturally, the faction that won would be able to claim all the prizes. In past hunts, the Lei and Xie families were able to take advantage of this fact to claim several exorbitant gifts from the Lin family and the Raging Blade Dojo. For the upcoming hunt, naturally, many people were speculating about who would emerge as the eventual victor among the four major factions. Of course, the faction that was heavily favored was still the Lei family. After all, they were the most well-established faction in Qingyang town, and they had vast resources to expend. Furthermore, up till now, no one had been able to threaten Lei Li's position as the #1 younger generation member in Qingyang town. In fact, it was rumored that Lei Li will advance to earthly UN level before the hunt began. If so, the Lei family would have about an 80% chance of victory for the upcoming hunt. Under the brilliance of Lei Li, the younger generation members in the rest of the three major factions seemed lackluster in comparison. Lin Dong did not know much about these speculations and discussions as he continued his seclusion to focus on his training. Nonetheless, even if he knew, he would probably ignore them as he knew that the future was not set in stone. As he trained quietly, Lin Dong had managed to achieve excellent results in these 2 months. During this period, he had tried several hundred times to break through the UN barrier. Towards the end of the 2 months, he decided to conserve and concentrate all his resources and finally managed to break through the UN Dan barrier. And when the UN power seed finally broke through and entered the UN Dan, to the delight of an excited Lin Dong, he could feel a transformation occurring within every part of his body. That sensation was akin to a submerged dragon soaring into the sky, or a fish finally released into the ocean. Chapter 38, Change. Advancing to tempered body 9th layer did not come as a big surprise to Lin Dong. After 2 additional months of training, plus the liberal use of elixirs, the UN power seed in his body long ago attained enough strength to overcome the UN Tian barrier. The reason why Lin Dong waited was because he was highly ambitious. After he advanced to the 9th layer, he wanted to immediately try for earthly UN level. This idea could be considered slightly insane. Even though tempered body 9th layer and earthly UN level were only 1 step away, there was huge gulf between the two of them. In plain terms, an earthly UN practitioner could easily dispatch several individuals at tempered body 9th layer. This illustrated the vast chasm between the two. When most people reached tempered body 9th layer, they would usually resume their regular training. Only when the UN power within their Dan Tian had reached a certain level, would they dare to advance to earthly UN level. In fact, only a crazy handful dared to attempt something similar to Lin Dong. Of course, even though this move sounded insane, it was not impossible for Lin Dong to pull it off. After all, his UN power seed was already much more powerful than most people. Furthermore, he had absorbed a huge amount of elixir pills and done extensive preparations. Therefore, he had a chance. Huff! Like an arrow, a mouthful of white smoke was coughed out from Lin Dong's throat. Lin Dong's eyes gently opened as a warm sensation filled his lower abdomen, causing his entire body to feel as if it was brimming with energy. It feels really different after I opened my Dan Tian. As he felt the changes within his body, Lin Dong's spirits were slightly lifted. Opening one's Dan Tian was extremely important for any practitioner as it was the most crucial and fundamental step. Later, I would be able to train in secret arts after reaching earthly UN level. At that point, the might of my UN power will also increase dramatically. Secret arts? These were merely 2 simple words. Yet, casually mentioning these words could lead to devastating conflicts. After all, secret arts were completely different from normal martial arts. Even though martial arts could utilize the might of one's UN power, secret arts can boost one's UN power from its roots. Based on what scarce information Lin Dong knew, secret arts also had different categories. However, they were not as complex as martial arts because they only had 3 categories. From lowest to highest, 3rd tier secret arts, 2nd tier secret arts, and 1st tier secret arts. It was a simple yet effective classification. The Lin family also had 1 secret arts manual, but it was only 3rd tier. Nonetheless, that manual was personally safeguarded by Lin Zhentian. Within the family, only the practitioners that have advanced to earthly UN level can know its existence and study it. With regards to that secret arts manual, Lin Dong had very occasionally heard Lin Xiao mentioning it. Even though he did not fully comprehend, he still knew how important that thing was. On his bed, Lin Dong shook his head as he tried to remove any distracting thoughts in his mind. It was still too early to think about secret arts. After all, once he officially advanced to earthly UN level, Lin Zhentian would surely deliver that secret arts manual to him on a silver platter. Lin Dong reached below his pillow and took out 2 bottles. Contained within the first bottle were 10 brightly colored elixir pills, while the other contained numerous white yin pearls which emitted a forbiddingly cold aura. Lin Dong removed 2 elixir pills and popped them into his mouth. Approximately half an hour later, he managed to fully absorb the medicinal power into his dantian, and he felt the amount of yuan power in his dantian surge. As he felt the vibrations in his dantian's yuan power, Lin Dong removed a yin pearl from the other bottle. Even though he had covered his palm with a layer of yuan power, he could still feel a stab of pain from the cold aura. The so-called earthly yuan level was basically fusing the yuan power in one's body with yin energy, thereby strengthening one's yuan power. Henceforth, the most important step was absorbing the yin energy from between heaven and earth. However, Lin Dong did not care for yin energy that existed between heaven and earth. After all, the yin energy contained within these yin pearls, that originated from Qing Tan's body, were of grade 5 quality. Therefore, if he successfully combined them with his yuan power, it would be boosted to a much larger extent. As he gripped the yin pearl, Lin Dong sucked in a deep breath before he straight away popped it into his mouth without the slightest hesitation. When the yin pearl entered his body, Lin Dong's body instantaneously stiffened as chilling cold air rapidly spread throughout his body and even his skin was swiftly covered in a layer of frost. Chilling cold air was constantly emitted from his body, however thanks to his prior training, Lin Dong's body was already tough enough to withstand the cold. Brrr. Lin Dong's face turned pale as his teeth chattered non-stop. He was aware of the yin pearl entering his body and going straight into his dantian. Once it had reached its final destination, it immediately caused an upheaval. Just as he experienced the explosive impact of his yuan power colliding with the yin energy, Lin Dong's facial expression changed. He realized that he may have overextended himself as the yuan power within his dantian was unable to hold back the yin energy. Pfffff. The commotion in his dantian gradually intensified. Approximately 10 minutes later, a healthy red glow returned to Lin Dong's cheeks as he involuntarily spits out a mouthful of blood. Contained within that mouthful of blood, were lumps of ice bits. Evidently, Lin Dong's latest endeavor had failed. What a pity! As Lin Dong wiped off the bloodstains at the corner of his mouth, a healthy red glow gradually returned to his pale cheeks. At first, he shook his head in resignation. However, after a moment of contemplation, he realized that even though his attempt to rush to earthly UN level has failed, he had learned much from this experience. Furthermore, he managed to gain some progress as well. After all, there was now a trace of yin energy within his dantian and it had successfully combined with his yuan power. Therefore, even though it was a tiny step, this was still a small improvement. As he kept the bottles, Lin Dong dripped 2 drops of stone talisman Ling liquid into his mouth before he left his room. Even though he only managed to harvest a tiny trace of yin energy from 1 yin pearl, he was not troubled as he had a sufficient supply of yin pearls. Furthermore, after this experience, he was confident that he would be more successful the next time. It's only a matter of time before he reached earthly UN level. Time passes like flowing water, in the blink of an eye, autumn had left as winter approached. Snowflakes danced in the air as they gently floated to the ground, causing the land to sparkle. It was truly a beautiful sight. As Qingyang town was slowly surrounded by snow, the atmosphere in the town gradually reached its peak. This was because there were only 10 days left before the Qingyang town hunt began. In a snow-filled open area within the woods, 2 figures crossed blows. As their palms and fists collided, the impact caused the snowflakes in their surroundings to be completely scattered. Two figures, one was steady while the other was graceful like a butterfly as she swung her jade-like hands. Her movements were especially agile, yet they looked elegant as well. Bang! As both palms collided, one figure jerked his shoulders as he exerted more force, causing the young lady to hurriedly retreat a few steps. I give up. I can't seem to win. The young lady pouted as she grudgingly stared at the young man before her. Lin Dong smiled as he stared at the coy young lady, awe filling his heart. In just a month's time, with help from him and thanks to Qing Tan's unique body constitution, she had nearly advanced to tempered body 8th layer. In fact, she was already very close. Right now, Lin Dong was imparting some martial arts to Qing Tan and she had nearly mastered them. Hence, Qing Tan was no longer helpless like before. In fact, based on Lin Dong's calculations, the only younger generation members in Lin family who could defeat her were probably Lin Hong and Lin Xia. Lin Dongji, in just a few days' time, it will be the Qingyang town hunt. You must work hard. Qing Tan sweetly smiled as she approached Lin Dong, stretching out her tiny hands before gently sweeping off the snowflakes on Lin Dong's shoulder. As he stared at the elegant young lady in front of him, Lin Dong smiled as he nodded. He stretched out his palm and intimately patted Qing Tan's tiny head. However, just as his palm touched her, Lin Dong's body froze as a look of surprise filled his eyes. Under Lin Dong's astonished gaze, the stone talisman that was hidden in his palm, suddenly released an explosive light. The instant the light appeared, Qing Tan immediately fainted. Just as Qing Tan fainted, a strong suction force broke out from Lin Dong's palm. Due to this suction force, the fearsome chilling cold within Qing Tan's body was immediately sucked out and violently transferred into Lin Dong's body through his palm. As he was invaded by that terrifying chilling cold, Lin Dong's body was instantly covered by a thin layer of frost. Right now, he had turned into an ice man. Chapter 39, Earthly Yuan Stage. The abrupt change caused fear to rise in Lin Dong's heart. The chilling cold which had gushed into him from Qing Tan's body was fearsomely powerful and cold. In fact, it was on a whole new level compared to the chilling cold contained with the yin pearls. Lin Dong lost control of his body as it was gradually covered in layer after layer of frost. The sensation was akin to having numerous steel needles furiously stabbing every part of his body. Due to that intense pain, Lin Dong's body and its internal organs started to twist and contort in pain, even his blood flow had become sluggish. All these signs indicated that he was facing a dire situation. However, as he faced these dire circumstances, Lin Dong was powerless. As he encountered the fearsome beast-like chilling cold from Qing Tan's body, he knew that his own power simply paled in comparison. However, he did not understand the reason why there was a sudden change in the stone talisman today. After all, this was not the first time he had contact with Qing Tan. Yet, this incident still occurred. Under the invasion of the chilling cold, Lin Dong gradually began to lose consciousness. However, just before he blacked out, the stone talisman embedded within his palm finally made its move. A suction force rapidly erupted from the stone talisman. Soon after, every bit of yin energy spread out across Lin Dong's body was rapidly absorbed and swallowed by the stone talisman. Buzz buzz. Right after all the yin energy in Lin Dong's body had been drained, the stone talisman started vibrating. Moments later, a pulse of icy blue yin energy was directly emitted from the stone talisman and it followed Lin Dong's internal channels and rapidly gushed towards his dantian. Though this pulse of icy blue yin energy seemed like a tiny amount, Lin Dong's remaining consciousness felt a trepidation from this force. He could feel that this pulse of icy blue yin energy was not as simple as it seemed. That pulse of icy blue yin energy flowed directly into Lin Dong's dantian. Soon after, Lin Dong could feel an extremely fierce battle break out in his dantian again. As the yin energy and yuan power collided, he could faintly feel tiny bursts of pain from his dantian. As he faced the ongoing clash, Lin Dong could only sit aside helplessly since he had already lost all control over his body. However, he secretly heaved a sigh of relief as he could sense that the yin energy, perhaps due to the stone talisman, was not as brutal as he had expected. Therefore, after 70 to 80% of the yin energy had been slowly shaved away by the battle, the yuan power and yin energy within his dantian finally started to fuse together. Within his dantian, the two forces gradually fused. The originally colorless yuan power suddenly turned a deep blue color. Furthermore, the originally fist-sized yuan power seed suddenly evaporated into an icy dark blue mist. At the fringe of the mist, Lin Dong could vividly feel a trace of chilling cold. Just as the icy dark blue mist was formed, Lin Dong's body violently jolted. Instantly, he felt a fearsome power that he had never known before swiftly surge out from the deepest region of his body before finally dispersing to every nook and cranny of his body. Crack crack. In this instance, cracks began to appear on the layer of frost surrounding Lin Dong's body as chunks of ice started to fall off. Lin Dong focused on his dantian. This was the first time he could see his own dantian. The icy dark blue mist was especially alluring as it slowly swirled. Circling it, were traces of yuan power, tinted with a chill, and readily available for Lin Dong to deploy. Lin Dong relaxed his mind and left his dantian. With his eyes tightly shut, he could feel a strange ripple spreading out from within his mind. He could now vividly sense every detail of his surroundings up to a 10-meter radius. Is this earthly yuan stage? The feeling of being in control caused Lin Dong's body to tremble uncontrollably in excitement. Advancing to earthly yuan stage indicated that he had officially become a true practitioner. After all, this was the first major checkpoint in the path of training. In order to break through this hurdle, Lin Dong had slogged hard during this period. However, the unexpected developments today finally helped to fuse the yin energy and yuan power within his dantian, thereby allowing him to advance to earthly yuan stage. Receiving this wonderful surprise caused Lin Dong to have a sudden desire to shout out at the heavens and announce his delight. However, he managed to suppress this desire right at the last second. In the dense forest, the layer of ice on Lin Dong's body had completely fallen off and transformed into a puddle of water on the ground below. Soon after, Lin Dong shook his body, as he gently opened his eyes. As he opened his eyes, a ray of icy blue light flitted across his eyes before it soon disappeared. As Lin Dong clenched his fists, he could feel that the power contained within his muscles had grown by several times. In fact, based on his conjecture, one normal punch from him now probably rivaled his penetrating fist 10th echo from before. Huff! Lin Dong exhaled a somewhat ice-cold breath, suddenly joining his hands together to form a complicated hand seal. This was Wonder Gate Seal. Lin Dong was extremely curious to find out just how powerful Wonder Gate Seal would be after he advanced to this new level of strength. As Lin Dong skillfully executed different hand seals, streams of icy blue yuan power rapidly flowed from the icy blue mist within his dantian and gathered under Lin Dong's palm. As that beautiful icy blue yuan power enveloped Lin Dong's right palm, a chill rose up, causing the surrounding temperature to fall. Bang! As he finished the last hand seal, Lin Dong took a step forward. He immediately slammed his palm into a tree trunk, which was as thick as 2 thighs, right ahead of him. The hand seal exploded, and the thick tree was immediately blown apart. Numerous wooden shrapnels flew in every direction. Furthermore, right at the point of impact, there was a layer of frost. If this attack had landed on a human body, just the yin energy contained within the yuan power alone would cause the opponent to suffer greatly. The power of earthly yuan practitioners far exceeds any tempered body practitioner. As he witnessed the strength behind his blow, a look of delight surfaced in Lin Dong's eyes. Just as he was about to celebrate, he turned and realized that Qing Tan was still lying unconscious on the ground, and instantly an awkward expression surfaced. The reason why he managed to advance to earthly yuan stage was because the mysterious stone talisman had absorbed the fearsome chilling cold within Qing Tan body and tamed it before allowing it to enter Lin Dong's dantian. Or else, based on Lin Dong's ability, if he had tried to forcibly absorb the chilling cold within Qing Tan's body, he would have probably turned into an ice statue. Thank goodness, she is fine. Or else, father and mother would definitely kill me. After a quick examination, Lin Dong heaved a sigh of relief when he realized that Qing Tan had only fainted. Stroking his right palm, he let out a pained smile before he lifted the beautiful sleeping princess, carried her out of the forest. Thanks to today's unexpected developments, Lin Dong managed to advance to earthly Yuan stage ahead of his expectations. Nonetheless, it was definitely good news that he could accomplish this step before the Qingyang town hunt. The Lei and Xia family have profited so much from my Lin family. It's time to make them spit it all out. As he carried the young lady back home, a sneer surfaced on Lin Dong's face. Chapter 40, The Hunt Begins. As the end of the year approached, the bustling liveliness of Qingyang town gradually reached its peak as all sorts of people from different factions within hundreds of miles around flocked towards the town. The streets had never been so full. The main players in this hunt were the few major factions in Qingyang town. However, there were also contestants from other factions as well. Of course, competition amongst the smaller groups was nowhere near as heated as the competition between the four major factions. In fact, most of these small factions just wanted to use this occasion to raise the reputation of their families or villages. Regardless of their respective aims, the Qingyang town hunt was arguably the largest event held within several miles. Therefore, any younger generation member that excelled in this event would not only see his own reputation and status skyrocket but also that of his families. The hunt was held on the first day of Lunar New Year and the location was the Monster Arena situated on the outskirts of Qingyang town. This place had some of the grandest architecture in all the town. The building was especially huge, and it encompassed several kilometers of forests, and right in its center there was a small hill that had been converted into a giant stage. Seated there, would be numerous guests, all keenly waiting to witness the birth of the newest champion. Countless anticipating individuals waited with bated breaths as the minute hand on the clock finally ticked down to the day of the hunt. When it was finally time, the busy atmosphere of Qingyang town exploded into tsunami of people rushing towards the monster arena. The entire place was filled with an awe-inspiring air. "Is this the starting point of the hunt?" asked Lin Dong, standing on high tower looking as he looked down in surprise at the dense forest. Standing behind Lin Dong were the core members of the Lin family. The one leading the group was naturally Grandpa Lin Zhentian, while Lin Xiao, Lin Ken, Lin Meng, and the rest stood beside him. "Yes." Upon hearing Lin Dong's query, Lin Zhentian beamed as he replied. As he gazed at the former, a look of happiness and content surfaced. After Lin Dong's impressive accomplishments, he had started paying closer attention towards this grandson. During this period of time, he even suggested to teach Lin Dong martial arts personally. However, he was declined by Lin Dong as the latter wanted to focus on improving his body first. In reality, Lin Dong did not need anyone to teach him martial arts since he had the stone talisman Glowing Shadow. Furthermore, he was afraid that if someone got too close to him, they might accidentally discover the existence of the stone talisman. That would not be good. The woods below are connected directly to the mountains. Thus, there will be numerous fierce and vicious creatures. Every hunt participant will wear a tag to identify themselves before they are thrown into the woods. After that, you will have to rely upon your own abilities to survive. Lin Xiao smiled before continuing his explanation. Besides worrying about these wild beasts, you also have to devise ways to snatch 10 tags from 10 different participants. Only then will you gain the right to enter the giant stage at the center of the woods. Therefore, for this hunt, you will not only be hunting beasts, but also hunting people. Lin Dong trembled slightly with fear. It turns out that this hunt was not as simple as he expected. In order to obtain 10 tags, he must defeat 10 different individuals. Only then would he gain the right to enter the giant stage. Therefore, once the contestants entered the forest, they would definitely start fighting with each other, causing a chaotic scene to unfold. Furthermore, while they devised ways to obtain tags from other participants, they must also safeguard themselves from wild beasts. Therefore, even the slightest mistake would probably cause one to forfeit his life. This was no ordinary competition but rather a dangerous event that risked one's life. This kind of selection process felt a little cruel. There will be approximately 100 tags. Therefore, only about 10 individuals can make it onto the giant stage and many participants will leave in defeat. A truly merciless competition. Lin Zhentian uttered as he kept his hands behind his back. Lin Dong nodded. Just a 10% chance, he had no opening to relax at all. Haha, based on Lin Dong's current strength, he is definitely going to ascend to the giant stage successfully. Lin Ken said with a smile. Upon hearing these words, the smile on Lin Zhentian's face brightened. Barely half a month ago, he got wind of news that Lin Dong had successfully advanced to tempered body 9th layer. This training progress was even more remarkable than Lin Xiao at his peak. This time, our Lin family's ranking will rest on Lin Dong's shoulders. At these words, a smile involuntarily surfaced on Lin Xiao's face. As he patted Lin Dong's shoulder, a look of gratification and pride surfaced in his eyes. Haha, Lin Zhentian. It has been a while. Seems like you are still alive. Just as the Lin family were conversing among themselves, a laughter sounded out from nearby. Upon hearing this laughter, Lin Zhentian, Lin Xiao and the rest furrowed their eyebrows as the smile on their faces faded. Lin Dong turned towards the direction the sound had come from only to see a huge crowd of people approaching them. Wherever this crowd passed, everyone nearby would quickly make way for them and their appearance was especially menacing. Leading the pack were two people. One of them wore a light grey silk robe and looked about the same age as Lin Zhentian. Both his eyes were sunken in and he gave off a cold and menacing aura. The other person was a middle-aged man, and a smile was constantly plastered on his face. He looked friendly and approachable, however, those who really knew him, knew that this fellow was a smiling tiger. That old fellow is the head of Lei family, known as Lei Bao. The other one, is the head of the Xie family, called Xie Qian. These two are the enemies of our Lin family and they are scum. Lin Xia, who was standing beside Lin Dong, softly murmured. Lin Dong slightly inclined his head as he glanced towards the two of them. He could faintly feel that the two of them were especially powerful. In fact, they should both be at heavenly Yuan level. As Lin Dong's gaze swept over the two of them, he saw two other familiar faces behind them, Lei Li and Xie Yingying. As if they could feel Lin Dong's glaze, Lei Li and Xie Yingying immediately glared back at him. A smile surfaced on Lei Li's face as he gently swung his palm in the empty air at Lin Dong. Evidently, he still remembered the slap that Lin Dong owed him. Old man Lei, rest assured, my old bones will not enter the coffin before you. Lin Zhentian smiled as he approached the two of them. Without hearing the tone of their voice and judging from their expressions alone, anyone would think that they were the best of friends. When one has many worries, it's hard to live a long life, Lei Bao faintly smiled as he scanned the members of the Lin family. Finally, his gaze stopped at Lin Xiao and he frowned as he felt a powerful Yuan energy within the latter. It seems like the rumors that Lin Xiao had recovered his strength were indeed true. When one loses so much every hunt, naturally one will be upset. This will definitely hurt one's longevity. Standing beside Lei Bao, Xie Qian uttered with a skin-deep smile. As they heard the subtle insult in his words, every member of the Lin family was enraged. However, with a wave of his hand, Lin Zhentian managed to stop everyone before he replied casually, "This time, I am afraid it's going to be your Xie family that will be upset. I heard that a genius has recently emerged from the Lin family? Let me guess, it should be this fellow." Lei Bao's sunken eyes suddenly turned towards Lin Dong as an evil grin surfaced on his wrinkled face. Lin Dong felt his hair stand on ends when Lei Bao stared at him. This old man was clearly bad news. My son only has a small reputation, it's hardly worth mentioning compared to the Lei family. Lin Xiao replied in an indifferent manner as he stepped forward and stood in front of Lin Dong. We'll see once the hunt begins. Just remember to prepare your gifts for us. Lei Bao smiled as he lazily waved his hand before leading his people to directly brush past Lin Zhentian and the rest. Lei Li's footsteps suddenly paused when he reached Lin Dong. As he glanced towards the latter and the rest of the younger generation members of the Lin family, he softly murmured, "Lin Dong, there are many fearsome beasts in the forest. You had better be careful." Don't end up in their bellies, okay? After uttering these words, a sneer surfaced on Lei Li's face. He glared viciously at Lin Dong before he finally turned to leave. That bastard, he is too overbearing. Lin Xia angrily retorted as she stared daggers at Lei Li's back. Lin Dong glanced at Lei Li's back. He naturally knew that the latter was trying to intimidate him. An icy smile surfaced on his face as he muttered to himself. It's too early to determine who would end up in the belly of a wild beast. Chapter 41, Luo Cheng. Around the monster arena were tens of thousands of stone seats. Today, none of these seats were empty, as the whole place was choked full of people. The mass of black heads bobbing up and down, extended all the way down one's line of sight. This massive crowd was indeed worthy of the biggest event in Qingyang town. The Lin family followed Lin Zhentian to enter the central area of the monster arena. This area had the best view, as not only could you look down upon the dense forests, you could also clearly see anything that happened atop the giant stage. However, only the factions that held substantial power were allowed into this area. Since the Lin family had maintained good relations with these other factions, as they entered, quite a few people came forward to exchange greetings with them, while Lin Zhentian replied them all in kind with a cheery smile on his face. After exchanging pleasantries, Lin Zhentian brought his group to sit in one area. Nearby were the Xie and Lei families. Yet, they only glanced once at the Lin family before turning away. No matter how calm they appeared on the outside, in their hearts, they still held some contempt for the foreign Lin family. Of course, since he was being slighted by them, Lin Zhentian obviously chose to ignore them as well. Over the years, they had fought both openly and covertly, and if he had not employed various tactics and strategies, the Lin family would have long been chased out of Qingyang town like dogs. Thus, even though both Lei and Xie families disliked the Lin family, the hatred in Lin Zhentian's heart far exceeded the realms of mere hostility. After the Lin family group seated themselves, many other influential people continued to appear one after another, causing the atmosphere to become even more lively. Lin Dong was seated on a stone chair at one corner. As he looked downwards at the dense forests, he could faintly be hearing the roars of wild beasts from time to time. However, Lin Dong was not worried about the wild beasts within the forest. With his current strength, as long as he did not encounter a demonic beast, he knew that any ordinary beasts were of little threat towards him. Demonic beasts were creatures that was even more terrifying than the normal ferocious beasts. In fact, even the lowest tier demonic beast was able to easily tear apart a tempered body 7th layer and lower practitioner. Moreover, a higher tier demonic beast would possess both intelligence and energy wielding capabilities. An exceptionally frightening killing machine. Thankfully, demonic beasts were generally found hidden deep in the large mountains. Since there were so many people here, it was highly unlikely that any demonic beasts would appear. Therefore, the biggest worry in this hunt was still the other participants. After all, in order to seize another competitor's tag, these participants would stoop to any level. Of course, any petty tricks were insignificant in the face of true power. The current Lin Dong had earned his qualification to maintain this level of self-confidence. As Lin Dong was sizing up the topography of the forest, he suddenly felt the atmosphere in the monster arena change slightly. He quickly turned his head just in time to see a huge troop of people entering his particular area. On their chests, a same picture was sewn. Raging Blade Dojo. The faction that had expanded the swiftest in Qingyang town. Raging Blade Dojo's appearance undoubtedly attracted countless gazes. Likewise, Lin Dong also swept his gaze over the group from the Raging Blade Dojo before stopping at the figure at the front. The figure turned out to be a somewhat lean man, with an expressionless face. On his face, were countless blade scars crisscrossing, giving him a menacing aura. Strapped on his waist, a long blade-shaped object was wrapped up in black cloth. That is the master of the Raging Blade Dojo, Mad Lightning Blade Luo Cheng. The reason why Raging Blade Dojo was able to rise rapidly, was largely due to him. If I am not mistaken, he is also a Heavenly Yuan level expert. In fact, he has probably already reached the later stage of Heavenly Yuan level. From there, it is only one more step to achieve the Yuan Dan level. Hence, in the entire Qingyang town, there are probably less than 5 people who could match up to him. Lin Xiao whispered to Lin Dong. Lin Dong nodded in surprise, as he had never expected that Luo Cheng would actually be so powerful. When he first arrived at Qingyang town and planned to establish the Raging Blade Dojo, the Lei and Xie families both tried to interfere. Hence, he directly went to challenge Lei Bao. In the end, though he ate 3 of Lei Bao's palm attacks, he left a blade wound on Lei Bao's chest. His ferocity and willingness to risk his life caused the Lei and Xie families to burst out in goosebumps. Thus, they could only withdraw. Hehe, Luo Cheng is extremely fierce and pays a lot of attention to any shortcomings. Now, even the Lei and Xie families do not dare to be too overbearing towards the Raging Blade Dojo. After all, these fellows are all a bunch of stubborn rogues. Lin Dong nodded his head in silence. Luo Cheng and Lin Zhentian could both be considered as founders who built up their own factions from scratch. It was just that they took different paths to reach their current positions, and they had different temperaments. Luo Cheng was unyielding, cold and strict, while Lin Zhentian was the type to conceal his true strength, while secretly developing it. However, in the end, the two were very capable men. While Lin Dong and Lin Xiao were speaking in hushed tones, the Raging Blade Dojo crowd approached them. Lin Zhentian stood up as he smiled, clasping his hands together, he respectfully greeted Luo Cheng. In response, a somewhat rigid smile appeared on Luo Cheng's usually expressionless face. As both of their factions were despised by the Lei and Xie families, this helped the Raging Blade Dojo and Lin family to bond closer together, and hence they had a friendly relationship. As expected, you've joined in the hunt this time. As Luo Cheng and Lin Zhentian exchanged greetings, a figure emerged before Lin Dong. That figure was Wu Yun, the same man he had met at the bazaar. Lin Dong had some positive feelings towards Wu Yun, thus a smile immediately formed on his face as he nodded. When the hunt starts, if possible, we should cooperate. After all, Lei Li and Xie Yingying would definitely join hands, and 1 against 2 would definitely be troublesome. Wu Yun chuckled. Lin Dong nodded in agreement upon hearing Wu Yun's suggestion. Is this Lin Dong, the person who you mentioned could successfully receive a blow from Lei Li? To one side, Luo Cheng, who was conversing with Lin Zhentian, suddenly turned his head to look at Lin Dong and inquire. Lin Dong greets the master of the Raging Blade Dojo. Lin Dong humbly scratched head before he respectfully greeted. Luo Cheng's sharp gaze carefully swept across Lin Dong's body before he nodded and remarked, "This is a good seedling, the Lin family is fortunate." Upon hearing these words, Lin Zhentian stroked his beard as a bright smile surfaced. After all, he knew that Luo Cheng was picky and had rather high standards. Thus, he would not give such positive evaluations lightly. Luo Cheng was clearly a man of few words. After a short chat, he said goodbye and led the Raging Blade Dojo members to another area to take up their seats. From start to end, he did not even look at the Lei and Xie families at all, nor did he have shown any intention to greet them. This was something that even Lin Zhentian could only do occasionally, yet Luo Cheng had no qualms in doing it. With the arrival of the Raging Blade Dojo, the 4 major factions in Qingyang town were now all present. Thus, as the sun gradually rose to its zenith, Lei Bao also stood up, as he swept his sunken eyes across the entire place. Under his chilly gaze, the racket in the monster arena slightly toned down, a testament to the influence that the Lei family held. Everyone, today is the busiest day in Qingyang town. Simply put, for the rules of the hunt, as long as one obtains 10 tags, he would obtain the right to enter this giant stage. At there, the true champion of the hunt will be born. Amplified by Yuan power, Lei Bao's voice reverberated around the entire monster arena, causing every single person to be able to hear each and every word clearly. The tags have already been collected by the various families. Next, distribute these tags to the younger generation participants from your respective families. Finally, all participants shall enter the monster arena and the hunt will begin. Dong Yar, take this tag and be extra careful. Lin Xiao glanced at Lin Zhentian, awaiting his signal. Only when the latter nodded, did Lin Xiao retrieve a black and yellow wooden tile from his clothes. On the wooden tile, was the word Lin and some other complicated diagrams. Under the envious gazes of some Lin family members, Lin Dong solemnly received the tag. The fact that Lin Zhentian handed the tag over to Lin Xiao first, showed that the former had already decided to allow Lin Dong to participate in the hunt and fight for the Lin family. Stuffing the wooden tile securely into his clothes, Lin Dong silently nodded. Without further ado, he looked at the other figures, which were leaping down into the forests from the monster arena. Taking a deep breath, he took 2 steps forward and positioned himself at the edge of the high platform. As Lin Dong prepared to leave, nearby, Lei Li and Xia Yingying also strolled forward. As he smiled, Lei Li stared at Lin Dong before he suddenly stuck out a thumb and lightly jabbed it downwards at the latter. Meanwhile, his lips were mouthing out some words. Although no voice could be heard, Lin Dong recognized the words that were mouthed. Lei Li had said, "Time to repay your debts." Looking back at Lei Li, Lin Dong likewise smiled, as his lips also mouthed out some words before he turned to jump off the high platform and descend into the monster arena. Gazing at Lin Dong's back, Lei Li's eyes slanted his eyes. With a light chuckle, a chilly light flitted across his eyes. He had also understood Lin Dong's unspoken words. Lin Dong had said, "I'll be waiting for you." Chapter 42, Fire Python Tiger. Lin Dong gazed at the forest ahead as he rotated his wrist about. Lifting his head to observe the forests around him, he saw a massive crowd of people. The sight caused him to feel a little nauseous, and the massive commotion slowly dispersed as the crowd started to spread out. Right now, there were numerous people heading towards the forest one after another. Everyone was in a state of high alert. Since the hunt has already begun, Lin Dong did not hesitate any further, and he immediately walked at a steady pace towards the dense forest. As more and more people entered the forest, the original hubbub of the crowd gradually died down, filtered away by the forest. When Lin Dong walked a certain distance into the forest, he suddenly saw the flicker of a few figures nearby. A few vigilant eyes looked at the tag on his body before they retreated. It seems like they had sensed that Lin Dong was not going to be an easy target. As these people retreated, Lin Dong did not bother chasing after them. Taking his bearings, he decided to head towards the giant stage at the center of the forest. After all, every participant would arrive there eventually, and this would save him the hassle of roaming around to hunt them down. The originally calm forest was suddenly in an uproar after the huge swarm of people entered. Growls from ferocious beasts were constantly heard, and a few panicked screams were also faintly discernible in between. It seems like some unlucky chaps had encountered fearsome beasts that were out of their league. Nonetheless, Lin Dong did not slow down as he calmly walked towards the center of the forest. A few minutes later, a figure finally appeared in front of him. Only then did he come to a halt and somewhat excitedly looked at the 3 figures before him. These 3 people looked to be around the same age as Lin Dong. Their bodies were toned, well-built and tanned, giving them a slightly menacing aura. Moreover, what surprised Lin Dong was that even though most people who had entered the forests were conspiring against each other, the 3 of them had teamed up with each other. "Hand over your tag." Standing right in the middle of the trio, a tanned young man stared at Lin Dong and said. While he spoke, his 2 allies slowly spread out and surrounded Lin Dong. Gazing at the trio who had delivered themselves right into his hands, Lin Dong could not help but chuckle as he shook his head. He strolled forward with no intention of surrendering his body tag. Attack! Upon witnessing Lin Dong's movements, the trio's expressions darkened as a faint glow appeared on their bodies. Tellingly, it seems like the 3 of them had reached at least tempered body 6th layer. As Yuan power surfaced on the trio, they instantly pounced on Lin Dong viciously. Even though they had the advantage in numbers, they hardly posed a threat to Lin Dong. Based on his current strength, he could easily defeat the 3 of them in a blink of an eye. Therefore, merely 10 seconds later, the originally menacing trio were now lying helplessly on the floor. Lin Dong was all smiles as he took their tags before he waved his hand and said, "Thanks." As he finished, he leisurely strolled past the three of them and continued his journey towards the depths of the forest. A bitter expression surfaced on the trio while they lamented their bad fortune. After the trio, Lin Dong met another two other unlucky chaps who wanted to attack him. The two of them were quite strong as they were at tempered body 7th layer. However, to Lin Dong, who had already advanced to earthly Yuan stage, they were like lambs for the slaughter. After a relaxing stroll, he successfully collected 5 tags. In addition to his own tag, he only lacked 4 more before he could attain the right to ascend onto the stone arena. However, Lin Dong was not anxious. To be frank, with his earthly Yuan level strength, it was simply a walk in the park for him to cross the forest. As he continued on his path, besides encountering the fellows who had tried to rob him of his tag, Lin Dong also met with some ferocious beasts. However, they clearly posed little danger towards him and were likewise swiftly dispatched. Following the passing of time, Lin Dong gradually made his way into the depths of the forest. Right now, the people that he encountered were all quite skilled. After all, you had to have genuine ability to make it this far. Gradually walking deeper in, Lin Dong managed to obtain 2 more body tags. In all, he now had 8 tags and he was just inches away from fulfilling the criteria. However, what perplexed Lin Dong was that he had yet to encounter Lei Li or Xie Ying. Inside the woods, Lin Dong sat down below a huge tree as he took out 2 biscuits he had prepared and ate them. Then, he closed his eyes as he prepared to take a short break. Buzz! Just as Lin Dong closed his eyes, a tree branch ahead of him suddenly shook and an arrow appeared and flew towards him. Just as the arrow was inches away from Lin Dong's body, he suddenly stretched his hand and caught the arrow before he immediately threw the arrow back in the direction it had come from. As the arrow flew through the woods, a small figure darted out and landed on top of a tree branch and cautiously observed Lin Dong. Lin Dong leisurely lifted his head and looked at that person. A look of surprise surfaced in his eyes as he realized that it was actually a girl. On the tree branch stood a young lady in a leather skirt. The skin-tight attire caused the curves of her slim figure to be clearly visible. Her skin was not white like other girls but rather it was a healthy bronze color. Therefore, she gave off a wild and unruly kind of charm. In fact, this young lady was akin to a small female panther, filled with explosive power and ready to pounce at any moment. At this instance, that young lady was vigilantly staring at Lin Dong. Held within her hands, was a wooden bow that had already been reloaded. Of course, Lin Dong was not surprised by the gender of that person. Rather, he was taken back by her swift and adept reflexes. If he had to guess, this young lady had probably reached tempered body 8th layer, definitely not a weakling. If you want the tag on my body, I am afraid you have found the wrong target. Lin Dong said with a smile after he quickly shoved the dry biscuit in his hand into his mouth. You must be Lin Dong. The young lady garbed in leather suddenly said as she stared at Lin Dong. Her voice was melodious like a young lady, yet it contained a little hint of hoarseness too. This hoarseness also caused her well-developed body to seem even more sexy. Yes. Lin Dong was taken back, he did not expect that the young lady would actually know his name. Hehe, I was the one who told her. Just as Lin Dong replied in astonishment, a laughter sounded out nearby. Soon after, some tree leaves parted to reveal a figure approaching Lin Dong. It was Wu Yun. At Wu Yun's arrival, Lin Dong furrowed his eyebrows and asked, "What are you guys planning?" Don't be mistaken. With so many tags around, I will definitely not go after yours. The reason why I looked for you is because I wanted to propose a collaboration. Wu Yun hurriedly gestured with his hands and said. Why cooperate? Based on your abilities, it should be very easy to obtain 10 tags. Lin Dong replied. We discovered a demonic beast nearby. Wu Yun softly muttered as he took 2 steps forward. Oh? What kind of demonic beast? Lin Dong lifted his eyebrows. There were actually demonic beasts in these woods? Fire python tiger. Wu Yun's voice became even softer. Fire python tiger. Why would such a creature be here? Upon hearing this name, Lin Dong's palm involuntarily shuddered. Then, with a strange expression, he stared at Wu Yun and said, "Do you have a death wish? A mature fire python beast match up to a heavenly UN stage practitioner. We can't deal with it." Fire python tiger. When Lin Dong was at the martial arts library, he happened to chance across a demonic beast index, and this fire python tiger was renowned as a ferocious monster. When it matures, its power would be equivalent to a heavenly UN stage practitioner. However, these kinds of demonic beasts are normally found in the deep mountains. Why would one appear here now? Don't worry, that fire python tiger is heavily wounded now. Based on its expression, it seemed to have escaped here from the deep mountains. More importantly, it had just given birth. Wu Yun softly said as he stepped closer towards Lin Dong. Given birth. Upon hearing these two words, Lin Dong immediately took in a deep breath as his facial expression distorted. Fire python tigers become extremely aggressive when they mature. Owing to their aggressive nature, the only way to tame them is to start when they are young. Therefore, anyone who could obtain this fire python tiger cub would essentially have a pet that could rival a heavenly UN practitioner in the future. If this news got out, everyone major faction in Qingyang town would definitely lust after it. After all, even after all these years of development, there were still only 4 heavenly UN practitioners in the Lin family. Lei Li and Xia Yingying are already heading towards that direction, and they have acquired some helpers. Therefore, I can only turn towards you. After all, if we let the Lei and Xia family obtain that fire python tiger cub, it will only be bad news for both the Lin family and the Raging Blade Dojo. Wu Yun said seriously. Lin Dong furrowed his eyebrows. He did not expect such a sudden development during this hunt. If Xia and Lei family got news regarding the existence of that fire python tiger cub, Lei Bao might even disregard the entire competition and head down to hunt it personally. Fortunately, the news had not gotten out yet. So, how about it? Wu Yun asked nervously as he looked at Lin Dong's complicated expression. He knew that Lei Li's side was powerful, and without Lin Dong's help, he would definitely be unable to grab the prize. Lin Dong bit his lips. After a moment of silence, he finally nodded his head to the delight of Wu Yun. All right, let's do it. Chapter 43, Snatching the Cubs. Haha, brother Lin Dong is indeed magnanimous. After he saw Lin Dong nod his head, Wu Yun could not help but let out a hearty laugh as an excited smile surfaced on his face. Here, let me introduce you guys. This is Mu Lingsha from the Mu family, my good friend since long ago. Don't underestimate her just because she is a lady. She has advanced to tempered body 8th layer and is extremely good at archery. With her on our side, we will have an easier time. Wu Yun smiled as he pointed towards the slim young lady standing on a tree branch. Mu family. Lin Dong was slightly taken back as he nodded his head. This Mu family was situated within 100 miles of Qingyang town, and they had quite a reputation. Naturally, Lin Dong had heard of them before. Based on my knowledge, there are a total of 3 fire python tiger cubs. If we succeed, each of us can get one. Wu Yun smiled as he said. It's too early to be discussing how to split the spoils. After all, the fire python tiger is no ordinary creature. Even if it was heavily injured and just gave birth, it will still be a difficult beast to handle. In fact, we may even sustain some damage. Lin Dong sighed as he shook his head. Aha, don't worry. The fire python tiger is not a problem. The main issue lies with Lei Li and company. If I am not mistaken, Lei Li should have advanced to earthly UN stage. Therefore, he is probably the strongest amongst all the contestants. Wu Yun chuckled before he promptly signed. Let's head over there first, before we assess the situation. Lin Dong said as he nodded. Upon hearing these words, Wu Yun also nodded in agreement. He lifted his head to look at Mu Linsha, and she promptly leapt off the branch before glancing at Lin Dong and saying, "Follow me." Immediately, she dashed towards the forests on the right side with Wu Yun and Lin Dong swiftly behind. As the 3 of them ran through the woods, they met several idling contestants who wanted to rob them of their tags. However, whenever any of them tried to make a move, an arrow will rip through the air and pierce the ground before them. The force behind that arrow clearly showed that should the arrow be pointed towards their bodies, it would definitely rip a bloody hole in their bodies. With the aid of Mu Lingxia's brilliant archery skills, they three of them had a smooth journey. After they traveled through the woods for approximately 10 minutes, Mu Lingxia's pace slowed down and she deftly hid behind a large tree. Her swift movements clearly demonstrated that she held a great understanding of the forests. "We have arrived." Wu Yun deliberately muffled his voice as he told Lin Dong who was behind. Upon hearing these words, Lin Dong stealthily took 2 steps forward. He scanned around before spotting something and concentrating his attention on it. Imprinted in his eyes, was a spacious forested area. There, stood more than 10 people with large wooden spears. Leading the pack were Lei Li and Xia Ying. Right in the middle of the group was a towering demonic beast. The demonic beast was covered in fur that looked like fire and its head resembled that of a fearsome tiger. Its tail was arched over its back, like a snake ready to pounce, and looked exactly like a flaming python. This was completely similar to what Lin Dong had seen on the demonic beast index. However, the fire python tiger, which was supposed to look majestic and intimidating, seemed extremely weak as fresh blood constantly gushed out from its body, dyeing its surroundings blood red. After witnessing the damage taken by the fire python tiger, Lin Dong now understood why Wu Yun had mentioned that the fire python tiger was hardly a concern. Based on its injuries, it would eventually bleed to death even if no one made a move. Lei Li was clear on this point as he only led probing attacks on the beast, not willing to directly engage it in battle. After all, the fire python tiger could match up to a heavenly Yuan expert and even its final death throes were no laughing matter. The fire python tiger cubs are on the rocks right behind it. Wu Yun secretly whispered to Lin Dong from behind. Lin Dong's vision instantly turned towards the rocks behind the fire python tiger. Right there, he could see 3 blood-stained cubs on the rocks. Their eyes were not even open as they squealed and rolled on the rocks in an attempt to stand up. These are indeed cubs. After witnessing this sight, despite Lin Dong's level of cool-headedness, a fiery passion could not help but be lit up in his eyes. If he could obtain just 1 cub, then his Lin family would effectively gain another heavenly Yuan practitioner. This would be a huge score for his Lin family. Hehe, I told you. So, what now? Wu Yun cheekily smiled after he saw Lin Dong's expression. Let's wait for the fire python tiger to die first. Lin Dong took a deep breath as he calmed himself before he softly replied. After all, it would be too risky if that creature was still alive. Yes. After hearing Lin Dong's suggestion, Wu Yun nodded in agreement. At that time, once the fire python tiger dies, I will intervene to stop Lei Li and the rest while Mu Lingxia shall covertly assist me. Wu Yun, your mission is to grab these fire python tiger cubs. Once you obtain them, you must leave immediately, and we will meet back at our rendezvous point. Lin Dong licked his lips as he outlined his plan to the rest. You are planning to fight them by yourself. Upon hearing his plan, Wu Yun was shocked. There were about 10 of them at Lei Li's side, furthermore Lei Li had advanced to earthly Yuan stage. If Lin Dong were to appear, he would surely be captured in a jiffy. Don't worry, I will not overextend myself. Lin Dong smiled as he waved his hand. Upon seeing the smiling expression on Lin Dong's face, Wu Yun was stunned. Suddenly, a frightening thought flashed in his mind, however he immediately killed it. Alright, let's follow your plan. You focus on Lei Li and Xia Ying. Leave the rest to me, I will stop them. Mu Lingxia also stared at Lin Dong in shock, yet she did not question him. Thank you. Lin Dong smiled gently. Without another word, he turned to look at the forest. The situation with the fire python tiger had reached a gruesome stage. As it was being provoked by Lei Li and the rest, it could only sluggishly chase after them. However, as it moved, fresh blood gushed onto the floor until eventually, even its internal organs began to spill out. Thud. The injuries sustained were truly fatal. Therefore, after a short chase, the fire python tiger released a roar of despair as it fell on the floor with a thud. Delight surfaced in Lei Li, Xia Yingying, and the rest after they saw the fire python tiger finally breathe its last breath. A hungry expression quickly replaced their delight as they turned to stare at the 3 fire python tiger cubs on the rock. A split second later, they dashed towards the cubs. Attack! Just as Lei Li and the rest rushed forward, Lin Dong released a low growl as he kicked his foot off the ground, shooting forward to obstruct both Lei Li and Xia Yingying. Swish! Just as Lin Dong made his move, Mu Lingxia's beautiful face turned icy. She swiftly pulled her bow back and arrows flew through the woods to promptly stop the rest of the group following behind Lei Li and Xia Yingying. Lin Dong! This sudden development caused Lei Li and Xia Yingying to be startled. As they stared at the man blocking their way, an ugly expression surfaced on their faces. Lei Li released a sneer as he heavily stepped off the ground and jumped towards Lin Dong, attacking him with a punch. The powerful force contained within his blow caused the surrounding air to vibrate. Since you delivered yourself straight into my hands, don't blame me. Lin Dong lifted his head to gaze at the figure who was rapidly growing bigger before his eyes. Based on the force contained within this punch, Lin Dong understood that Lei Li had indeed advanced to earthly Yuan stage. In fact, if this punch was delivered to a tempered body 9th layer practitioner, he would suffer massive injuries. Lin Dong, watch out! Dodge quickly! As Wu Yun was dashed towards the cubs, he hurriedly shouted out upon witnessing this scene. However, Lin Dong chose to ignore Wu Yan's warning. Keeping both of his eyes firmly on Lei Li, he took half a step back while his fingers gripped together. Then, he retaliated with a punch, forcefully countering Lei Li's powerful blow. Wu Yun's face turned pale after he saw Lin Dong's decision to retaliate. Just as the former was about to retreat and save Lin Dong, he suddenly saw that at the epicenter, Lei Li's body had actually been blown back. In fact, he landed awkwardly and even took a few steps back, nearly falling to the ground. The chaotic woods instantly fell silent. Even Xia Yingying gasped in surprise, unable to believe what had just happened. Lei Li had advanced to earthly Yuan stage, yet he was blown back by a single punch from Lin Dong. Damn it, has that bastard advanced to earthly Yuan stage? Wu Yun stared at Lin Dong's back in complete shock. The terrifying thought that had flashed in his mind previously was now finally confirmed. Chapter 44, Success. Thud. Lei Li somewhat haggardly stabilized his body as he lifted his head and stared in shock at Lin Dong, involuntarily letting out, "You entered earthly Yuan stage too? How is that possible?" Lei Li's disbelieving voice was like a peal of thunder as it sounded in the eardrums of everyone nearby, shocking them. Immediately, gasps echoed out in the forest ground. "If you can advance to earthly Yuan stage, why can't I do the same?" Lin Dong smiled as he saw Lei Li's somewhat frightened and doubtful expression. It was like he had seen a ghost. "You?" Lei Li's face twitched as his body began to tremble uncontrollably. He had started his training 3 years ago, and with the aid of the bountiful resources from the Lei family, he finally managed to advance to earthly Yuan stage just 2 months before. However, what about Lin Dong? Based on his knowledge, the latter only started training approximately 1 year ago. In just 1 year's time, he had caught up to his 3 years of training. How incredulous is that? That kind of progress was something Lei Li never ever heard of. Impossible. Lei Li's expression constantly changed, eventually settling into a somewhat warped expression as he took 2 steps forward. He refused to believe that Lin Dong had truly advanced to earthly Yuan stage. "Big brother Lei Li, they are going to snatch the fire python tiger cubs." Just as Lei Li was struggling with the turmoil in his heart, the observant Xia Yingying suddenly panicked after she saw Wu Yun climbing onto the rocks. "Bastard!" After hearing her words, Lei Li immediately regained his wits. Seeing that Wu Yun had already climbed onto the rocks, rage filled his entire body as a thick Yuan power immediately exploded from within. Faintly, hints of yin energy dotted his Yuan power. It seems like he had managed to absorb a little yin energy into his Yuan power and successfully fuse them. However, the yin energy that he assimilated seemed to be of the ordinary grade found between heaven and earth. Lin Dong, I don't care how you managed to increase your strength, you still lack the qualifications to beat me. As Yuan power surged within his body, Lei Li's body felt full of strength as he enjoyed that refreshing power. When he attacked previously, he never expected that Lin Dong's strength had advanced to such terrifying levels. Therefore, he was careless and ended up losing out. Now that he was fully prepared, even if Lin Dong had advanced to earthly Yuan stage, he would not easily lose out. With a roar, Lei Li dashed out with both of his palms bent like eagle claws as he went for Lin Dong's head. Ying Ying, stop Wu Yun! Just as he moved to attack Lin Dong, Lei Li once again shouted out. At Lei Li's shout, Xia Ying Ying nodded her head. However, right before she could make her move, Lin Dong broke away from Lei Li's pursuit and appeared in front of her. With a simple palm attack, he instantly blew Xia Ying Ying back. All of you attack! After he saw Lin Dong purposefully avoid him and instead choose to tangle with Xia Ying Ying, Lei Li's face turned blue as he shouted at the crew behind him that he had hastily assembled. The crew behind him hesitated after they heard Lei Li's roar. Several of them could only grit their teeth as they remembered the reward that Lei Li had promised them previously. However, just as they were about to make their move, arrows suddenly flew through the forest and hastily stopped them in their tracks. While Lin Dong and Mu Lingsha restricted Lei Li and the rest, Wu Yun finally climbed onto the rocks. Taking out a piece of cloth from his chest, he wrapped the 3 fire python tiger cubs within and swiftly jumped down. Following which he whistled a signal before immediately dashing into the woods and disappearing. Go! As he heard the whistle, Lin Dong was delighted. He quickly turned to Mu Lingsha's current position and shouted. Swish! Hidden in the woods, Mu Lingsha lightly nodded as she fired off her remaining arrows before turning to flee. Haha, Lei Li! We'll have our real match when we reach the stage later. However, right now, it's time for me to split my spoils. After he saw Mu Lingsha's successful escape and then Lei Li's fuming expression, Lin Dong felt incredible carefree. He let out a hearty laugh as he stamped off the ground and immediately dashed off. Concurrently, he flung his arms at Lei Li and the rest, violently firing the rock shrapnels hidden within his sleeves to slow them down. By the time Lei Li deflected those rocks' projectiles, he could only see Lin Dong's shadow escaping into the woods. Immediately, he exploded in anger. His furious roars could be heard resounding hatefully throughout the forest. Lin Dong, I swear I will kill you! As he ran in the dense forest, Lin Dong could hear the angry roars from behind him. However, he only casually smiled. Based on his current strength, he hardly feared Lei Li. Furthermore, he was also not worried about offending Lei and Xia family. After all, they were already hostile towards the Lin family. Therefore, why bother? Lin Dong traversed through the woods like an agile monkey. Approximately 10 minutes later, he stopped and scanned his surroundings before he finally sat down below a giant tree. Soon after, he heard the rustling sounds of leaves from nearby. Next, Wu Yun and Mu Lingsha surfaced in front of Lin Dong. Haha, that was wonderful! Just as Wu Yun appeared, he involuntarily let out a hearty laugh. Then he looked at Lin Dong with admiration as he chuckled, looks like we found the right person. Brother Lin Dong, your training progress is simply sick. In just 4 months' time, you advanced from tempered body 8th layer to earthly Yuan stage. It's just a fluke. Lin Dong smiled as he casually replied. Let us split our spoils. Wu Yun carefully unwrapped the cloth bundle on his back and placed it on a nearby rock. Hidden within this cloth bundle were 3 tiny blood-stained fire python tiger cubs. As they struggled to crawl around with their tiny bodies, they looked extremely cute. Even Mu Lingsha's eyes lit up. Even though she was still young, it seems like the motherly instinct was something every female possessed. Brother Lin Dong, you've contributed the most. You should pick first. Wu Yun smiled as he said. Standing beside him, Mu Lingsha also nodded her head. Evidently, she agreed as well. Upon hearing these words, Lin Dong did not bother with any pleasantries as he extended his right palm to gently touch these 3 cubs. As they felt human contact, these 3 cubs immediately curled up their tiny bodies. Lin Dong's right palm hesitated for a while as it moved back and forth over the 3 cubs. Moments later, when his palm touched the tiny cub on the left, a glint flashed across his eyes. With a smile, he picked it up in his arms and said, "Here, let me have this one." "This one? Brother Lin Dong, this cub seems like the weakest among the 3. I'm afraid it will be somewhat difficult to take care of it. Are you sure about this?" Upon witnessing Lin Dong's choice, Wu Yun and Mu Lingsha were both stunned as they asked. "It's fine, I want it." Lin Dong smiled as he shook his head. Naturally, he had a reason for doing so. Just now when he was touching these 3 cubs with his right palm, he felt a slight vibration from the stone talisman embedded within his palm when he touched this tiny cub. The stone talisman was usually extremely quiet, therefore whenever it makes a move, it must have encountered something extraordinary. Lin Dong lowered his head to look at the tiny fire python tiger cub, which had yet to even open its eyes. Based on his judgment, he could not tell why this little cub was special. Nonetheless, he chooses to believe in the stone talisman. This fellow must be somehow different, right? Lin Dong hugged the tiny cub as he muttered uncertainly to himself. Chapter 45, Rising Tension. After they split their battle spoils, Lin Dong and the rest were all smiles. Even Mu Lingsha had a happy expression that reached her cheeks. After all, she came to this hunt to strive for a good ranking so as to boost the reputation of the Mu family. She did not expect to receive such a wonderful gift in the process. Compared to this fire python tiger cub, the hunt had become an insignificant event. "Let us head to the stage." Wu Yun carefully cradled his tiger cub as he smiled and said. Lin Dong nodded in agreement. Even though he still lacked 2 more body tags, he knew that it was not a problem. "I won't be going." Besides them, Mu Lingsha silently muttered as she suddenly shook her head. Upon hearing these words, Lin Dong and Wu Yun were both stunned. They stared at the tiny cub in Mu Lingsha's arms before nodding their heads in comprehension. A fire python tiger cub was extremely valuable, and if she could successfully tame and train it, their Mu family would have the protection of a heavenly UN level fire python tiger. That was extremely good news for their entire village. Furthermore, in the current Mu family, there was only one person that reached the early stage of heavenly UN level. However, a fire python tiger cub would definitely attract the envy of others, and if news of this incident got out, the Lei and Xia families would definitely pursue it. The Lin family and the Raging Blade Dojo were both well-established factions, thus they were not fearful of the Xia and Lei families. However, the Mu family that Mu Lingsha belonged to was different. They were too weak to fight against the Lei and Xia families. Therefore, the fact that she had the tiger cub must not be revealed, or it would spell calamity for the Mu family. "We will keep your secret," Lin Dong softly said. "Thank you," Mu Lingsha gratefully said as she glanced at Lin Dong. Then she cheekily said, "If you are free in the future, you can look me up at Mu Family Village. I will bring you around." "Haha, it's a deal." Wu Yun smiled as he nodded his head. Since the 2 of them agreed, Mu Lingsha did not linger any further. After she said her goodbyes, she hid the tiger cub and leapt onto a tree branch. Like a swift female panther, she immediately fled towards the outside the woods. "Let's go." Sending off Mu Lingsha with their gazes, Lin Dong gestured with his hand. Immediately after, he ran towards the center of the woods with Wu Yun swiftly behind. Only a few of them made it into the deep forest, and naturally, these people were quite skilled. Nonetheless, since Lin Dong had advanced to earthly UN stage, they posed little threat to him. Therefore, moments later, he had obtained the last 2 more tags. During winter, the sunlight did not feel blazing hot but was instead rather comfortable. Seated in the monster area were thousands of black bobbing heads. Their gazes were all concentrated on the center of the monster arena. Situated there, was an arena atop a small hill. Based on my calculations, these participants should reach the arena soon. At the Lin family area, Lin Zhentian narrowed his eyes at the arena and smiled while muttering to himself. Haha, father, don't worry. Based on Lin Dong's strength, as long as he doesn't encounter Lei Li, it would be easy for him to obtain 10 tags. To his side, Lin Qian chuckled and said. Upon hearing these words, Lin Zhentian smiled as he nodded his head. Just as he gathered his thoughts, waves of cheers suddenly sounded out from the monster arena. Soon after, he saw a few figures appearing on the giant arena. Upon seeing that one familiar figure among them, he secretly heaved a sigh of relief. On the giant arena, Lin Dong and Wu Yun both revealed themselves. They looked at the huge crowd around them and marveled. After all, it was rare to see this many people all in one place. Just as Lin Dong and the rest ascended onto the stone arena, several judges swiftly arrived and examined the tags in their hand before withdrawing once again. Not long after, 2 other figures also appeared on the stone arena. However, plastered on their faces were anger and rage, and they immediately turned to glare at Lin Dong and Wu Yun. Faced with Lei Li's and Xia Yingying's menacing glare, Lin Dong and Wu Yun exchanged a glance before they both chuckled. I will not let you so easily snatch away the cubs. Upon seeing the 2 of them laugh, the anger in Lei Li's heart burned even hotter. Promptly, he turned towards the area where the Lei and Xia families were seated and shouted, Grandpa, Uncle Xia, just now, me and Xia Yingying encountered a heavily injured fire python tiger and its 3 newborn cubs. After the 2 of us struggled with it for a long time, we finally killed it. However, right at the last moment, Wu Yun and Lin Dong launched a sneak attack and snatched the 3 cubs away from us. Please help us address this injustice. Everyone in the crowd was stunned when they heard Lei Li's sudden roar. However, right after they heard about the 3 fire python tiger cubs, the entire crowd burst into an uproar. What? Everyone in the audience, no matter the Lei or Xia family, or even Lin Zhentian and Luo Cheng, all immediately stood up as their facial expression changed dramatically. All of them clearly knew the prowess of the fire python tiger, and 3 cubs represented 3 potential future heavenly Yuan practitioners. This power was something that no faction could afford to ignore. 3 fire python tiger cubs. Lei Bao's face immediately flushed red. He exchanged a glance with Xie Qian as a glint flashed in his eyes before he turned to ask in a solemn voice, is this true? On the giant arena, Lin Dong and Wu Yun's facial expressions slightly changed. They did not expect Lei Li to be so shameless. The fire python tiger was already heavily wounded. Does that mean whoever saw it first owns it? If so, tomorrow I will circle around the deep mountains, and every demonic beast that I see will belong to me. In the future, if anyone catches them, they will have to compensate me. Wu Yun's expression darkened as he retorted with a sneer. Wu Yun's cheeky retort immediately caused laughter to erupt in the audience. Some people in the crowd also nodded in agreement to his logic. After all, the fire python tiger belongs to no one. Hence, the cubs should belong to whoever had the ability to obtain them. Stop trying to find excuses. Lei Bao shouted as his face twisted. Bang! Before Lei Bao's words could fade, nearby, Luo Cheng immediately slammed his palm onto his stone chair. The strength behind his blow immediately shattered the stone chair as he gripped onto the long saber on his waist and icily said, Head of Lei family, anything your family member speaks is the truth. Yet when my family member speaks, it becomes nonsense. Do you think my Raging Blade Dojo is so easy to bully? Everything in the world will come to those who are fated with it. How can this be counted as stealing? Old man Lei, don't be too overbearing. Lin Zhentian also spoke up in an indifferent manner. When he spoke, Lin Xiao could see his palm slightly trembling in excitement. After all, mentioning the fire python tiger cubs had caused him to lose his cool. After witnessing that the Lin family and the Raging Blade Dojo had allied together, Lei Bao's expression slightly darkened as he icily shouted, Fire Python Tiger indeed belongs to no one. However, Lei Li had invested effort into this, yet in the end, all the spoils were taken by your people. Therefore, even if the 2 of you are allied together, you must give me a satisfactory answer. After hearing Lei Bao's tone, everyone could tell that he was highly unwilling to give away the cubs to the Lin family and the Raging Blade Dojo. An answer? Don't tell me you want the cubs back. The scar on Luo Cheng's face was wriggling like a scorpion, as he menacingly replied. Master Luo, things are getting heated. This will not be good for any of us. Let me suggest an alternative. As it happens, we are currently having a competition. Why not let whoever wins take away the cubs? After watching the situation heat up, Xie Qian suddenly suggested. Based on words alone, you plan to snatch the cubs away. How can there be such a good deal in this world? Lin Zhentian sneered as he furrowed his eyebrows. Lei Li and Xie Yingying were both the most outstanding among the younger generation members from their respective families. In fact, the former may have even advanced to earthly Yuan stage. Wu Yun may be able to deal with them, however, it was unlikely that Lin Dong would be able to match up to Lei Li. I will wager my Steelwood Manor. During this competition, should Lei Li lose to Lin Dong, then my Steelwood Manor shall belong to your Lin family. However, if you lose, that cub will belong to my Lei family. Lin Zhentian, do you dare to accept this wager? Lei Bao eyes flashed as he said. Steelwood Manor. Upon hearing these words, not only was Lin Zhentian and Luo Cheng shocked, but even Xie Qian was stunned as well. The Steelwood Manor manufactures a unique steel wood and it was a significant enterprise in the Lei family. Lei Bao actually dared to use this Steelwood Manor as a wager? However, moments later, they regained their wits after they realized that the Lei family victory was almost guaranteed. Lin Zhentian's facial expression changed irregularly, he was obviously shocked by the stakes. Immediately, he gently shook his head. Even though the wager was lucrative, he knew that their odds were still too low. After all, even though Lin Dong was highly talented, he started training a lot later than Lei Li. If they fought now, he would likely lose. Father, let's drop this notion. Standing behind Lin Zhentian, Lin Ken's, Lin Xiao's and Lin Meng's facial expression changed as they clenched their jaws and softly muttered. If they were to lose the Fire Python Tiger Cub because of this wager, it would hardly be worthwhile. After hearing the three of them, Lin Zhentian sighed in his heart. However, just as he was about to reject, a clear voice suddenly resonated from the stone arena, causing everyone to be stunned. All right, our Lin family accepts your wager. Chapter 46, Stunning the Entire Arena. The sudden clear voice caused the entire monster arena to quiet down as several uneasy gazes were directed towards Lin Dong, who was standing on the arena. Nonsense! These matters are not for you to decide. Lin Zhentian promptly shouted. He was shocked by Lin Dong's sudden gesture. He believed that it was Lin Dong's hot-blooded youthfulness that caused him to be unable to put up with their provocations any longer and thus rashly agree to the wager. Besides Lin Zhentian, Lin Xiao and the rest furrowed their eyebrows. They knew that Lin Dong was clearly a cool and rational person, so why did he suddenly do this? Grandpa, trust me. Even as he faced the numerous doubtful gazes, Lin Dong looked straight at Lin Zhentian and solemnly said. As he saw the determination in Lin Dong's eyes, Lin Zhentian's eyebrows tightly knitted together. Could Lin Dong really defeat Lei Li? Currently, Lei Li had probably advanced to earthly Yuan stage. Therefore, if Lin Dong wanted to defeat him, he needed to be at earthly Yuan stage at least. However, how is that possible? After all, Lin Dong had only started training for approximately a year. The fact that he could reach tempered body 9th layer within a year, was already a remarkable accomplishment. After all, even the renowned Lin clan genius, Lin Langtian, took nearly 2 years before he advanced to earthly Yuan stage. Hehe, Lin Zhentian! Look at what have you become. Have you lost your drive from before? Even a young man dares to accept our challenge, yet you do not. How disappointing! Lei Bao coldly mocked as he looked at the indecisive Lin Zhentian. However, Lin Zhentian ignored the taunts. Instead, he turned around and asked Lin Xiao, Lin Ken, and Lin Meng, what do you all think? Upon hearing these words, anxiety and hesitation surfaced on the three of them. Logically speaking, even though the rewards for this wager were highly lucrative, it was too risky. However, there was a greed faintly hidden within their hearts, that they could win both the Cub and the Steelwood Manor. If their Lin family could win the Steelwood Manor, then their profits for each year would rise by approximately 40%. This was no small amount. Lin Dong is a calm and rational child. This kind of sub-par provocations clearly do not work on him. However, he should also know that Lei Li has advanced to earthly Yuan stage. Since he dares to accept this challenge, he probably has an ace hidden up his sleeve, Lin Ken murmured in a low voice. If father wishes to gamble, it could be worth a try. Upon hearing Lin Ken's suggestion, Lin Zhentian took in a deep breath as he gently shut both of his eyes. Moments later, he opened his eyes, having once again regained his calm. He looked towards Lei Bao and casually said, "Since old man Lei persists, this time, our Lin family will play with you. Lin Dong, it's all up to you now." Lin Zhentian turned and looked at Lin Dong as the words slowly left his mouth. After hearing these words, a smile surfaced on Lin Dong's face. He gently nodded his head and then looked towards Lei Li, who was standing nearby. The smile on the former's face instantly turned cold. "Do you really intend to fight Lei Li?" Wu Yun, who was standing beside him, anxiously asked. Even though he knew that Lin Dong had also miraculously advanced to earthly Yuan stage, he did not favor the latter. After all, Lei Li had trained for a much longer period of time, and he must have complete mastery of various kinds of martial arts. "Don't you think it's now too late to regret?" Lin Dong smiled as he passed the fire python tiger cub over to Wu Yun and said, "Help me look after it first. I don't want anything to happen to it when I am fighting." "All right, take extra care." Wu Yun helplessly nodded his head while carefully accepting the cub into his arms like a nanny. He looked a little silly. The hunt was now temporarily put on hold because of this unexpected development. Nonetheless, many people in the crowd were pleased because they could witness a battle between Lin Dong and Lei Li. Furthermore, this match also pitted the Lin family against the Lei family. Therefore, to be able to witness such a grand gamble, made this trip totally worthwhile. The other contestants on the stone arena immediately backed off to create an open area in the middle of the arena. A judge also walked inside to preside over this duel. Under the watchful gazes of the crowd, Lin Dong slowly strolled to the middle of the arena as his heart gradually calmed down. This duel was extremely important for the Lin family. Not only was the fire python tiger cub at stake, but even more so, the Lin family's reputation as well. Lin Dong naturally understood how important this duel was. Hence, the reason why he finally agreed to this duel was because he had every confidence that he would emerge victorious. As Lei Li stretched his neck, his facial expression was somewhat malicious as he stepped into the arena. Staring straight into Lin Dong's eyes, a menacing glint was reflected in the former's eyes. "I will make sure you lose everything." Standing before Lin Dong, Lei Li declared. Faced with Lei Li's threat, Lin Dong only replied with a casual smile, declining to retort. "Both parties take your position, let the duel begin." After seeing both of them enter the stage, the judge immediately announced as he raised his palm and swung it down. As the judge's words faded, Lei Li's facial expression instantly turned icy cold. A thick and powerful glow of Yuan power flickered on the surface of his body. The undulations of his Yuan power was clearly incomparable to that of a tempered body 9th layer practitioner. He has indeed reached earthly Yuan stage. After seeing Lei Li's display, a commotion erupted in the monster arena. Meanwhile, a prideful smirk emerged on Lei Bao's face. However, right before his smirk fully formed, it slowly froze in place. This was because he saw streams of thick and powerful Yuan power also began to flicker on Lin Dong's body. Based on its undulations, his Yuan power definitely did not lose to Lei Li's. Lin Dong has also reached earthly Yuan stage. When Yuan power gushed over Lin Dong's body, the entire monster arena erupted as a look of awe and surprise surfaced on everyone's faces. They were not too surprised that Lei Li had advanced to earthly Yuan stage. However, none of them had ever expected that Lin Dong, who became the new rising star from the Lin family in the past half a year, had already reached this step. Pa! In the Lin family's area, the teacup in Lin Zhenshan's hand crashed onto the ground and smashed into pieces. He stared at the young man in the arena, unable to believe the scene that was playing right before his very eyes. His mouth twitched as if he were trying to speak, yet he found himself at a complete loss for words. Lin Dong. Since when did he advance to earthly Yuan stage? Lin Ken and Lin Meng were totally taken aback, their mouths feeling somewhat dry as they turned in unison and asked Lin Xiao. This. I also have no clue. As he met their gazes, a rigid smile surfaced on Lin Xiao's face. The palm that he had rested on his leg was constantly twitching as an immense pride surged in his heart, causing his entire body to tremble uncontrollably. Right beside them, Lin Xia, Lin Hong and the rest of the younger generation in the Lin family stood glued on the spot, their mouths hanging wide open. A feverish gaze faintly burned in their eyes. No wonder he dared to accept this duel. Lin Ken stared at Lin Zhentian as he muttered, "Father, our Lin family has finally produced an outstanding genius." Lin Zhentian silently nodded his head as he wiped of the tea stains on his clothes with trembling palms. Then, he lifted his head and softly sucked in a breath. His old eyes were moist while his voice was coarse as he softly cried out, "The heavens are fair." Nearby, Lei Bao slowly sat back into his chair, ashen-faced. A murderous intent faintly flashed within his eyes. Lin Dong's fearsome progress had terrified him. This boy must not be allowed to survive.